You are live.
Okay, this is John Barry. Welcome to the March 17th.
Thank you, Chair Barry.
Our meeting, could we have a roll call to get started, please?
Good evening. This is Carmen. Commission Chair John Barry.
Present.
Commission Vice Chair Charles McDermott. I know he had called in earlier, so I'll mark him as present. Commissioner Corey Little.
Present.
Commissioner Larry Bernowski. Commissioner Bernowski. Commissioner Peter Meyer. Commissioner
Hi, Carmen,
Peter
this is
Meyer.
Tiffany. They're showing that they're on, but
Okay, I'll mark Commissioner Meyer as present as well.
And he just realized he needs to unmute if you're going to hear him.
Thank you. And I understand Commissioner Milburn is absent this evening. And last, Commissioner Ken Casey.
I am here. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Gary, can we have the Aviation Director's report, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the commission. Happy St. Patty's Day. Welcome March 17, 2021. It's March already. First, I'd like to welcome a previous commissioner and now back on again, Mr. Ken Casey from Pinnacle Aviation. Congratulations and welcome back to the Airport Commission. We're very glad to have you.
Thank you very much. It's good to be back.
Mr. Chair, members of the commission, I just want to bring up one item just to make sure you're all aware of is the upcoming Barrett-Jackson, which is actually, believe it or not, this upcoming weekend starting. We're ready to go. We're very excited to hear about this, and we're ready to go. We've been busy. The FBOs are ready to go as well, and I just wanted to bring up that this is coming, so we're still keeping very, very busy. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you, Gary. Do we have any discussion of the meeting minutes from February 17th?
This is Larry Bernowski. I just had one minor comment. It had me opening the meeting on February 1st. I believe you did that, John.
That's correct.
So, Mr. Chair, what we can do is when you make a motion to approve the minutes, you can move the minute to make that adjustment to change that.
Okay, Larry, would you like to make that motion, please?
Yes, I would. So I have moved to approve the minutes with a change for the John Barry opening the meeting.
Meyer seconds.
This is Carmen with the vote. Chair Barry,
Aye.
Vice Chair McDermott, Commissioner Little,
Aye.
and Commissioner Casey.
Aye.
And I'll go back to Vice Chair McDermott.
Yeah, he was on earlier, so.
He may not be unmuting his phone or something may have happened, but based on the results, Carmen, we have to take him as he did not vote on that because we need a verbal vote.
Correct. So we have 5-0 approval of the minutes.
Thank you.
All right,
it
thank
looks
you.
like, hi, this is Tiffany. It looks like he's trying to speak.
Tiffany, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
I vote yes.
That works.
Got it. 6-0.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. On our agenda, number 1 is a discussion input regarding the financial report for January. Carmen, you are up.
I am up. Thank you very much, Chair Barry. In your packets, you have the monthly financial report for January 2021. So as we always start in the upper right-hand corner, we cover the revenues and expenses for year to date. The approved budget for revenues through January was 2.9 and our actuals came in at 3.7. On the expense side, our budget was just under 1.5 million and the actuals were right on target. So we are doing really good on the revenues as well as on the expenses. Down below for the January monthly comparison to last year, we had 704,000 in revenues compared to last year's revenues of 489,000. That's a pretty good size variance. So that is due to several areas, such as our aviation fuel revenues are much higher this year, transient landing and parking fees, and customs. So those are always the main areas. So those alone accounted for 170,000 variance over last year. On the expenses, we are higher this year at 272,000 compared to last January at 226. The variance is small, but it's due to some one-time expenses related to consultants and professional services. On the left-hand side of the report, Tiffany, if you can scroll just a little bit up on the left side, we're going to have the, there you go. We've got the aviation fund cash balance. So it is 6.3 million as of January 31st. Towards the middle of the page, we have our accounts receivable aging report. So those are the amounts owed as of February the 1st. As always, those are always pretty easy to maintain. Those are all of the lease accounts, all of the accounts receivables that we have through the city. On the bottom half of the report is the fuel flowage stats. So you can see the January fuel revenues are well ahead of last year. So for the January comparison, the jet gallons sold by the FBOs are up 46.8%, avgas up 41.6%, and the air park fuel is down 14.8% over last January. Overall for the month, the gallons is up 28.3%. So it's about 272,000 gallons. And then for the fiscal year to date, the jet fuel sales are up 30.8%. Avgas is up 10.4%, and air park fuel is down by just under 3%. The actual gallons pumped year to date are 6.7 million, which is almost 19% increase over last year. It's about 1 million gallons increase. So we're doing really well for the first half. That about covers the financials. Any questions?
Okay, if no questions, let's go to item number 2, which is discussion input with the monthly construction report from Mr. Chris Reed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Construction report, not too exciting this month quite yet, doing a lot of underground work. You can see on the second phase of the box hangers, we're about 10% complete financially. A lot of footer work shown in the pictures there. Since this report was written, there's been quite a bit of masonry installed too. So we are moving along very nicely on that project. And scroll down a little bit, touching on the runway rehab project coming up. So we've completed all the design, and the construction manager at risk is getting bids at this time. So we hope to have the GMP for that project by next week or the week after that to turn into the FA and get that turned into a contract and moving for the big project in July. So if there's any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
No questions. Let's go. Let's stay with you, Chris, for discussion input regarding monthly operations report.
Thanks again, Mr. Chairman. Top of the report is the based aircraft count this year compared to last year. And then taking a look at the operations of this month last year to this year, you can see there was a decrease. I talked to the tower manager, and he mentioned that he thought we had a few rain days in February, if you recall, this year, and a couple really windy days too. Those kind of days will really put a halt to the flight training and those flight training numbers, the touch and goes and all that, missing 4 or 5 days of that will really bring the ops counts down. Also down a little bit on the IFR counts, and that's probably because we did have Barrett-Jackson in January last year, but we did not have it this year. So that would explain those negative numbers. Moving to the alerts, just a couple alerts there, nothing too noticeable. Then the incidents there are listed below that. And if we go down a little bit more, see just a few enforcement actions, and then getting to the U.S. Customs report. U.S. Customs is still going very well. The revenue for the month is $77,000. Total use is 140. The U.S. visits were very high at 42. And then you can see all the folks, the nationalities of the folks on those U.S. visit flights listed to the right. And then down below shows the numbers, the dollar amounts fiscal year to date compared to last year. So we're up again. And then the total uses, again, 140 versus 126 compared to last year. And then 861 compared to 752 on the total uses fiscal year to date. And so far this year, we're at 10 PPRs for aircraft wanting to depart out of here over 75,000 pounds, but less than 100,000 pounds. And then the attachment shows the operational numbers for about the last 16 months. Any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
Okay, thanks, Chris. No questions. Let's move on to Sarah on our public outreach programs and planned projects.
Hi, thank you, Chair and Commissioners. I'd like to provide our monthly update of the marketing, community planning, and outreach programs at Scottsdale Airport. For this month, for the voluntary curfew letters, we've sent out one letter for February. Again, that's when we receive a complaint that takes place within 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. And if we can confirm the flight, we send out a letter. So we only had one for February. We continue to monitor property development projects through the planning department. And for February, there were 4 projects that were listed within the airport influence area. On the social media front, we continue to post items and photos, and we got some really great feedback on the recent post about Scottsdale Airport reporting gains in 22 and being one of only or 3 of the 25 busiest private jet airports to experience gains. So that was kind of nice to hear. We sent out a listserv recently as well to solicit feedback and kind of a reminder about our U.S. Customs service since we're operated on user fees. We received about 10 emails in response to that listserv notice as well. We are working on some runway rehab outreach materials. Currently, I'm working on printing out some posters and banners and postcards. You know, sometimes having that visual reminder is just as good as some of the email and social media stuff. So we intend to put some of the posters or actually banners outside on the vehicle gates, aircraft gates, at the FBOs, so that we make sure that we're catching everybody, hopefully. Aside from that, we will be submitting the General Aviation Box Hanger project for consideration as an Airport Business Project of the Year. So that kind of wraps up my update for the month. I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any. Thank you.
And fellow commissioners, any questions for Sarah? Okay, thanks, Sarah.
Thank you.
Number 5, administrative report from Gary. Your turn.
Mr. Chair, members of the commission, thank you. And again, this is a very quick meeting. We didn't have a lot of meat to it, but we have some coming up shortly we'll be talking about. This item is the administrative report, the standard report we provide to you about airport commission items that gone to city council. No real update other than the one on the very bottom, which is the airport code amendment. We adopt the ordinance changing the definition of based, which you guys approved last month. It did go to the council and was approved yesterday. Then scrolling down, aviation related items to planning commission, design review board of city council. We have several items, not too much to update. We should just be seeing some more movement on some of them. The people's hangar should be moving forward. And then we'll also be adding a development on there just to keep you guys informed with regards to developments in the city of Phoenix that the chair is familiar of. And that concludes that report. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
This is the chair. What were you talking about I was aware of?
The item that's in the city of Phoenix, that's
Oh,
beer.
we don't need to talk about that, do we?
Not now, but next week we will, next time we will update everybody on what's going on.
Okay, everybody will enjoy that. I will abstain from commenting.
Yes. All right. Any
Hey,
questions?
thanks, Gary. Number 6, discussion and possible action to modify our meeting schedule.
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the commission, as always, we like to provide you a schedule update. I want to point out on the calendar that Tiffany just showed up that we have highlighted in April, a special meeting and the regular meeting being canceled. The April 1st meeting, I'm requesting the commission to actually move that to April 7th. So I would need an action of the commission. There will be a special meeting. There will be only 3 items on the agenda. The reason why we're doing it primarily is because we have the runway construction contract award of about $12 million coming your way. And we're pretty excited about that. Actually, about like 10.5 million. Total project cost is 12. We'll also be adding the Aviation's department's 5-year financial plan for your review and recommendation to council, as well as a planning project that will be moving forward. So with the request of staff for the Airport Commission to make a motion to adjust the calendar to cancel the April meeting and move the special meeting to April 7th.
Hey, understood. Do I have a motion to move that meeting to April 7th?
So Gary, are you canceling the meeting dated April? Help me, I just lost you.
Yes, April 21st, if you look on the graphic, if you see it, as will be canceled. We will only host a special meeting and
On
we're
the 7th.
requesting is April 7th.
And will that be a Zoom or in person?
It will be an in-person meeting. The city manager has authorized boards and commissions to come back in a limited fashion. We will host it up at the venue space where we've been there once before. It would be staff only, anybody who's presenting. It will be social distance control as well as the airport commissioners that choose to come to the meeting.
Yeah, that'd be fun to see everybody in person. So
Exactly.
good. Very nice.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second, Larry.
Is that a second from you, Larry?
Yes.
Okay, can
Second.
we have a vote?
Yes, Chair Barry,
Yes.
Vice Chair McDermott,
Yes.
Commissioner Little,
Yes.
and Commissioner Casey.
Yes.
Thank you very much. 6-0.
So
Well, that
Gary,
meeting will be April 7th at the same time, 5 p.m.
right.
That is correct. You'll see an agenda here in the next week.
Look forward to seeing you in person, Larry. That'd be fun.
That would be good for
I
all
will
of
even
us.
dress up.
Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for the shortest meeting I've been involved in 4 years. This was really amazing, Gary. Good job putting this together.
Point
No
of
con-
information, does it have anything to do with it being March 17th, Gary?
I can neither confirm or deny.
I understand.
We have the only other item, Mr. Chair, before you can adjourn without a vote, like you and I talked about, is the future items if there is any.
Are there any future items any commissioners would like to bring up at this time?
None from Larry.
None
I
here.
will- Good. I will assume the silence is golden. We are done for the evening. I hereby adjourn this meeting. Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
Mr. Chair. Appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everybody.